You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. The white supremacist, this fool Kyle Rittenhouse, which is kind of weird. Prosecutors asked the judge for a new arrest warrant for Rittenhouse because he violated his bail conditions. Rittenhouse, who was charged with killing 2 people and injuring another during a protest last August in Kenosha, Wisconsin, moved locations without alerting the court. Mark Richards, the teen's lawyer, filed a counter motion on Wednesday, stating that Rittenhouse had no choice but to move due to receiving death threats. Richards stated he offered to give prosecutors the teen's safe house address. However, they would have had to vow to keep the address a secret. Prosecutors refused to do so and are now asking that Rittenhouse's bail be set at $200,000. Am I the only one? Am I the only one, Rob, amazed at how white folk just stay out of jail and get to decide, no, we ain't gonna give y'all our address, and it's unsafe. Like, really?
Yeah. You just walk in front of a Capitol building that's guarded and just say, "Oh, y'all come in." I mean, this is definitely a different level of privilege, and this is what we mean by privilege, because some people act like they're confused. Like, if a black man shot 2 people with a semi-automatic weapon on tape and killed them for no reason, he would be in jail right now and he wouldn't be getting out. End of story. Like, this is only true if you're a white man in America. And only because people want to have some sympathy and empathy for what happened to them and try to justify this. He killed black people, crossed state lines because he wanted to go promote hate, because he works for, not what he works for, he associates with white supremacists. He belongs in jail. He has no business being out here. Hopefully he will get in jail and be held accountable. But there's just a whole other level of privilege in this country if you're white, clearly.
Just reminds me of Misha, the woman who was one of the January 6 people, went to the court and asked him, hey, there's a bond, my company has a bonding retreat in Mexico. Can I get to leave the country and go to that? I'll come back. But I mean, that's what this sounds like. Oh, he's getting death threats, so therefore we need to keep his address a secret. Really? Really, he gets special conditions?
So from the moment that Kyle Rittenhouse actually was arrested, he's gotten special conditions. This is a guy who should have never gotten out on bail to begin with. One, he was always a flight risk. His co-conspirators, these individuals who supported him, QAnon folk and the like, were able to raise millions of dollars for him. He was always a flight risk. This is a guy who traveled across state lines with an illegal gun. Mind you, it wasn't his gun. He wasn't even old enough to have a gun. And he committed murder. Not only was he allowed to drive back home, meanwhile walking past officers with blood on his shoes, carrying a weapon with the capacity of multiple rounds after shooting someone, he goes to jail, and then he makes bail because they don't figure somehow he's a flight risk. I don't know how. And then guess what? He leaves. He's no longer in the location that he was initially assigned to. The issue here is also that in so leaving, this was a conversation that was held with police officers. They knew the whole time that this kid was planning on running. And at the end of the day, I think that there have been so many ways that the justice system has gone wrong in this case and has protected this guy who we knew was a white supremacist, who we knew had QAnon conspiracy theories all up in his head, who we knew went on social media and talked about what he was going to do and the types of things that he hated, including Black Lives Matter and any freedom for Black people. He was the type of guy who had been radicalized into terrorism. That's what he is, and he should have been locked up. And it's very frustrating to see that they allowed him to slip through their fingers because honestly, they weren't trying to do anything. They didn't consider him a criminal.
Michael, was a trippy as the attorney says, oh, a high-ranking cop told us to do this.
I want to know the name of the high-ranking cop. And was that high-ranking cop at the January 6th stop and steal insurrection at the U.S. Capitol building? But it's important. Earlier in the segment, you show Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, who said this is Black History Month. But it's important for us to understand that Black History Month occurs during White Privilege Year. Okay, and this is what we're seeing right here. All right, we're seeing this is the height of white privilege once again, where you just get to make up your own rules as you go along. Okay, so I hope they put him back in jail. He's violating the terms of the bail. I hope they put him back in jail, revoke his bail, and we'll see what happens with this. But once again, this is white privilege once again, and they're making up the rules as they go along. Oh, and the other thing is, Roland, in this article here, it's important people to note that assault rifle that he got, reportedly, it was purchased with stimulus check money.
All I'm saying is, that you just think that you just get to go ahead with, I ain't telling the court my address, so
Right.
If y'all want it, you got to keep it private. Everything else public record.
Yeah.
But no, y'all want the address, you got to go ahead and I'm telling these folks, hey, I'm telling you, y'all.
Hey, Trump has them believing they have all types of power. And
hey, bro.
They believe it.
Hey, man, these folks are straight tripping.
Every single night. We've got some of the top black experts. You're not going to see them on cable news or broadcast news because you swear black people aren't experts when it comes to this health crisis. That's why we have this show and why we do what we do every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Joining us right now is retired General Russell Honore, the nation's first black Surgeon General, Dr. Joycelyn Elders.
John Hope Bryant, he's the founder of Operation Hope.
Senator Kamala Harris of California, Dr. Cedrina Calder, retired General Lloyd Austin, Congresswoman Karen Bass, Commissioner Omari Hardick, Bureau President in Brooklyn, Eric Adams, Dr. Joseph Graves, America's Wealth Coach, Deborah Owens, Dr. Corey Hebert, Patel Saul, Howard University student, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Dr. Christy McDowell, Benja Ajilore, senior economist at the Center for American Progress, Gilda Daniels, again, author of the book, The Crisis of Voter Suppression in America. 4 stars, General Kip Ward. Dr. Oliver Brooks is president of the National Medical Association, president of the American Medical Association, Dr. Patrice Harris. Joby Benjamin.
Dr. Alexia Gaffney, infectious disease specialist. Dr. Georges Benjamin, executive director of the American Public Health Association.
Malcolm Nance, family medicine physician, Dr. Jen Caudle. Dr. Tashaka Cunningham, a molecular biologist. Kat Stafford, she's a national race and ethnicity reporter for the Associated Press. Dr. Wayne A.I. Frederick, who is the president of Howard University. Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from the state of New York.
William Spriggs,
AFL-CIO economist. Andrea James, executive director of the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls. All right, let's go to Capitol Hill. Congressman Gregory Meeks, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson of Texas, Congresswoman Barbara Lee,
Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar,
mental health clinician Jamie Singletary, Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Bradeboy, as well as Dylan Hayrie, ACLU Justice Division strategist. Dr. Cindy Duke, she is a virologist. Principal Steve Perry of Capitol Prep. Health and wellness specialist Dr. Yolandra Hancock. Desmond Meade, president of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Cliff Albright, who is the co-founder of Black Voters Matter. Michael Harriet with The Root. Mina McWhorter, founder of Love by the Hand. Dr. Julianne Malveaux, economist president, Emerita Bennett College. Coroner Michael Fowler is the mayor of Atlanta. Keisha Lance Bottoms, mental health therapist Suzette Clark.
Justin Gibney, attorney and political strategist, and Bishop Vincent Matthews Jr.
Dr. Suzette McKinney, CEO and executive director of the Illinois Medical District. Dr. Leon McDougall, president-elect of the National Medical Association. Jana Bailey, mayor of Moss Point, Mississippi. Mario King.
We're going to keep driving this thing to make sure our people are fully aware, safe, protected from coronavirus. You getting the top medical experts, the top business experts, top political experts, top religious experts, because that's why we do what we do. Unapologetically and unfiltered. Ain't nobody else in the black media space doing what we do. Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.
Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.